Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Conor Benn, looks like he's a free agent. And some people are saying he has nowhere to go. And they feel like Dana White is laughing at Conor, saying, hey, that performance was horrible. Some say Eddie Hearn are laughing, saying, yep, you didn't show any loyalty. You went out here chasing $15 million. You made your money. But in that one fight, now nobody is going to want to work with you because you're predictable, you don't show any loyalty, and they don't want to work with fighters like that. Hold on. And they don't want to work with fighters like that. So they said he's ruined his name, ruined his brand, and there's no coming back from that. But Conor Benn is like, shit, I made $15 million. So it is what it is. Plus, Conor Benn is out here chilling right now.
Yeah.
So you see, Conor Benn got himself a Ferrari, and he got himself a Porsche. But this is the issue with Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? He is a free agent, and what sucks about it is nobody wants to sign him. Nobody wants to work with him right now. You know, and I agree with what he did to take care of his family. I understand, but the way he went about it. You know what I'm saying? One fight deal, he made $15 million against Regis. And at this point, it is what it is, you know? Now, Conor Benn did say, this is Conor Benn right here. He did say, right here, check this out. He reveals that he's a free agent after his one fight with Zuffa Boxing. He admitted his approach is short-sighted, but the big financial offer was worth it. He says he could return to Matchroom, stay with Zuffa, or go independent after facing Regis. Let me tell y'all this right now. Conor Benn isn't going to no damn Zuffa. He's not staying with Zuffa. He's not going to Matchroom. Okay? Eddie Hearn doesn't want anything to do with him. And would Eddie work with him? I mean, we have to wait and see, but it sounds like Conor Benn should be more concerned about a lawsuit, and that's what sucks. If you really care about Conor Benn, and you love him, and he's your friend, and he's your mate, why are you gonna sue him to get some of that money? You know what I mean? Is it that serious? So where now he could potentially face a lawsuit. I'll tell you what, I think just leave the shit alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave Conor Benn alone. It is what it is. He's a castaway now. Conor Benn has to live with himself. It's not like he came out here and knocked Regis Prograis out cold. No, he came out here and fumbled along the way. And Regis lost the fight clearly, but there were times where Regis hurt him. Who in their right mind is going to put big money behind Conor Benn to face Ryan Garcia, to face Devin Haney, to face Rolly Romero, to face Teofimo? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think the fight should make Conor Benn, Eubank Jr., the trilogy. And he can sign a one-fight deal with somebody, maybe Eddie Hearn. And then he can go and have the fight. But I really don't see where Conor Benn can go. So yeah, he made a lot of money. He's good, his family's good, his children are good, the grandchildren are good. Everyone should be good. Between the two fights with Eubank Jr. and this $15 million, you're talking about close to like $35 million on the table. I know people get portions of that, and whatever, however they do taxes over in the UK. But the bottom line, out of that 35 million, he probably holding on to maybe 20. Okay, so Conor, and then he had a little bit of, well, no, he needed some help from Eddie Hearn. The bottom line is, I'm not trying to jump in the man's pockets, but he's in a good position. But I just don't see any more big paydays for this guy. I don't see anybody wanting to work with him. You know what I'm saying? He can't perform in the ring, even though he's trying his best. But he can't perform in the ring. Most boxing fans look at him and they're like, yo, we kind of forgot about the whole scandal with Peds, but after seeing your performances and not being able to really, knock people out, and you getting there with a 140-pounder who, will say that you couldn't get him out of there, and Regis Prograis is way beyond his prime, but Regis Prograis was a special fighter when he was in his prime, and he was injured in the fight, and Regis Prograis hurt him a couple times. And you couldn't get him out of there. So why would anybody come and get behind Conor Benn right now? So promoters are looking at him as he's not loyal. You can't trust him. Fight fans are looking at him like, he's a D-level fighter and only looked to be A-level, dangerous and explosive when there was all the Ped scandal, around the Ped scandal time. So Conor Benn's in a horrible position. But at the same time, he got some dough. So short-sighted, yes. Made some money, yes. Is he going to be able to continue making $15 million paydays, $10 million paydays? No. I don't even see him walking to a $1 million payday. Fans have to come out and support you. Fans have to buy tickets. I'm not wishing bad on him. I would hope he and Eddie can talk and reconcile, but I just don't see it happening. That's a lot for Eddie Hearn to forget. He embarrassed him. Dana White laughed at him. The boxing world laughed at him. Other promoters laughed at him. Fight fans laughed at him. But then what happened is fight fans, promoters, and everybody, they stopped and they said, hold on. We're laughing at Eddie Hearn. And then they started to think about what really happened. And they said, hold on, Eddie Hearn put his neck on the line for this guy. So they stopped laughing at Eddie. Fight fans, everybody, they stopped laughing. They're like, hold on. This guy did Eddie wrong. No matter what people think about Eddie Hearn and what they may have thought about Eddie Hearn, I think 100% of people, after they stop laughing and they start to really mull over what had transpired, they said, damn, this guy did Eddie Hearn dirty. So Eddie Hearn started to get a lot of support, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of people speaking up on his behalf like, you went all out on this dude. You risked the reputation of yourself and the company that your father started to where you benefited greatly because now you've taken it over. All of that shit could have gone up in flames. Because most people feel that they covered up a lot of bullshit, right? That's just the reality of it. Eddie Hearn took that shit on the chin like a champion. Just to come back for this guy who said he loves them, he's loyal to them, he'll never leave them, he'll never this, to come and do them dirty. But that's a hard choice. And see, the issue, again, it's not that he wanted to take the $15 million, it's the approach. To me, he had an obligation to, at minimum, have a conversation. And say, hey, Eddie, these guys are going to give me 15. Are you willing to match it? And maybe Eddie gives him 12. I'll tell you this, $3 million is a lot of money. But for what Eddie Hearn did for Conor Benn, if Eddie Hearn would have said, look, I can get you 12.5, I think Conor Benn should have stayed with Eddie and said, fuck that other 2.5. Because now, his next fight, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be watching this to see if anybody wants to work with this guy. You know what I mean? It's a pretty sad situation. I think he does have one more payday in him, but he'll basically go get slaughtered by someone at 147. Conor Benn making 147, it's not healthy. Plus, let me throw this at you. This shit about Peds. Do you know when people dye their hair blonde, they do that because it can help conceal Ped usage? Did you know that? Watch this shit. Let me show you this right here. I'm not making that up. That's why some believe Conor hair was blonde. You know, he dyed his hair blonde. It was blonde the whole camp. As soon as he took the fight, um, as soon as he took the fight, for, one second. And your hair blonde. This guy's. Yeah, watch this. I was researching this. This motherfucker. I got it right here. I looked at it on my phone. I'm pulling it up right here. But I couldn't believe that shit. It blew my mind. Dyeing your hair blonde. Cover ped usage. Let me see what it says. It says right here, bleaching, going blonde can slightly reduce detectable levels of some substances. It doesn't eliminate them completely, but it can reduce detectable levels. So that is crazy. That's crazy, man. They said, but blonde dye doesn't mean you get a clean test, but it will lower concentrations. But sometimes it's enough to hide ped use. But if it's a really reliable test, then it can still be detected. But dyeing your hair blonde does reduce the chances of you being detected for ped usage. Isn't that some shit? So again, I'm not saying he's doing it. I'm just saying his hair was dyed blonde. Even I didn't understand why the hell he dyed his hair blonde. You know? So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that because I gotta go pick up my son. But who's gonna want to work with him going forward? I would never wish bad on anyone. But he kind of created his own situation. He made a lot of money, and I hope he's happy with that because money don't make you happy. Money doesn't bring you peace. It creates convenience for him, his family. But going out there, man, and being embraced by the people, how he was after the first and second Eubank Jr. fight, he'll never get that again. That's what he needed to be fighting to get. I'm in the breeze.